So for our project, we decided to make a website about coding. The first thing on our website, we have a just information about coding, how it works. So we did, the first thing we wrote was, what is it? Coding is known as a computer language. Codes are a set of instructions that computers understand. A code tells your computer what to do, since computers do not understand words. Without coding, we would not have some of the major technology that we have today, such as Facebook or Twitter. Then how it works. Learning coding is fun and easy. Many tools have been created to help even the youngest of learners learn how to code. Learning to code has no age limit. If you can use a computer, you can learn to code. Coding is sometimes taught in school. There are university classes that teach coding. Many websites can be found online that turns the task of learning how to code into a fun time. And then why? So we wrote, as technology is becoming increasingly important in the world today, so is the need for people who have the skill set of coding. The opportunities for an individual entering the coding world is endless. Coding teaches life skills as well as problem solving, creativity, and hard work.
And then we really wanted to be able to provide resources for people that were just wondering how to get started with Tinker, and especially to supply teachers with places where they can teach their kids how to code. The first one that we listed is Tinker.com, and Tinker helps students code in a fun and interactive way. It's a lot of games, and it's a lot of fun and breaks it down and makes it easy for the children. And the second one is called Code.org. It's kind of similar to the previous one. It's some more games, and they also organize Hour of Code, which I'm going to explain in just a second. And then the last one that we listed is probably the most professional and the most widely used of all the coding teaching websites. However, this one is one that needs parental consent for learners over 13, and they do a really nice platform just explaining coding and teaching you how to code. And then we wanted to give you guys like some testimonials and make it a little more personable. So the first thing we have here is a video of the Hour of Code. And if you watch it, it basically explains what Hour of Code is. And Hour of Code is a global movement that just challenges you to spend 1 hour coding and seeing just how many lines of code you can get. And a lot of celebrities endorse it, and it's just kind of to inspire people. And then I actually have a friend who travels the world coding, and it's his favorite thing ever. And so we got an interview with him. So the first question I asked him was how long he had been coding, and he said 8 years. I asked him what coding means to him, and he said creating something of nothing. What opportunities has it opened for you? He said getting competitive jobs. He used to work at General Motors. He also does not have a college degree, by the way. He is a college dropout, and he just taught himself how to code. And then number 2, job security. I get about 5 job offers every week. Number 3, opportunity to see how business works. His software clients have to tell them all the business secrets and everything to their business, just so that he can know what's code for them. And then 4 is ownership of a growing company. Because of his specific skill set, he was given 50% ownership in a growing company. The next question I ask him, is the coding profession on the rise or decline? Most definitely on the rise. It permeates every single industry, even the boring ones. The demand for software engineers is higher than the supply. Can you make a living coding? Absolutely, assuming you do the following. Number 1, keep up with all the latest software trends. Number 2, continually learn historic and old software that supports today's software. Number 3, understand your value and understand how to communicate your value. There are definitely software devs who don't make much money simply because they don't know how to communicate their value. Number 4, believe in yourself and take steps of faith. It's easy to become complacent or even scared to attempt to get to a higher skilled software jobs. And number 5, immerse yourself with people who will encourage you and find good connections. I asked him if there are sufficient resources to learn to code, and he said yes, there's obviously university programs, but additionally plenty of code schools that offer cheaper and a more focused path. And additionally, there's tons of really cheap and even free online programs that are super helpful. And then, what opportunities does coding bring? It certainly is not guaranteed to being the exact specific opportunities I had, but it will bring opportunities. The only people who get lucky are people who put themselves in a position to have lucky things happen. You have to be able to recognize opportunities and not be afraid to take them. I would say learning coding is definitely one of those things that is bound to bring lucky things across a person's path. Should it be taught in schools? It should absolutely be taught in schools for the following reasons. Number one, the software permeates every industry. Number two, the demand for software keeps increasing while more and more traditional work is being automated. And number three, people who aren't software developers still have to interact and communicate with them a lot. For example, project managers, IU developers, graphic designers, small business owners, quality assurance people, bankers, etc. Knowing some basic things about software helps the communication. It can be a tool to better communicate other concepts. There are many, many, many more easily understood in code than traditional math notation. Several examples include recursion, truth tables, functions, sets, arrays, constants, sigmas. And that was just like a really special thing that he was willing to do an interview with me. And I just really hope that through this project we can encourage more people to code.